Hey, dummies. Uh, we're doing real well. I just had a hell of a clap. Whenever I start, you have to clap. Then it like syncs together the audio from the video to the audio from here, so you can be like, all right, this is roughly where it's at. And it was a really good clap. I am now expecting the wheels to fall off of this, and it becomes terrible. That is the theme of my life, personally, dummies. Is that momentum is actually reciprocal and opposite. And anytime I'm doing well, if I anticipate that at all, I will immediately trip underneath my own feet and somersault and directly go the other opposite direction. Not even halt at a stop, just shoot the other way like I was shot out of a gun. So that's a lot of fun. God damn. Trying to remember that shit, Now, like, ta-da! Youngin Dumb. Look at that. I figured out Microsoft Paint, so that's cool. But I got it. It's my first logo. It's all big now. It looks real good when I'm looking at it right here. So very happy with it. It's good to see you guys. Good to be talking to you. It's the third week in a row. I'm priding myself in that, I think, unless for some reason I delete this video, decide to start over, or just like I would want to do many times in my life previously. Maybe just run away from you guys and start anew. Maybe I'll start a new channel with a different mask. I'll be a guy with a big green goblin mask. Not from purple goblin mask. I'll be the purple goblin mask guy. Because no one has done that yet. I could do anything like that. I've always dreamed of just running away and starting anew. I always thought I would make a great stepfather in that way. Maybe that's just the role you feel sometimes. You just fit into where you fit in. So I've been living life. I was supposed to meet up with a friend today. We were supposed to smoke, and I was going to roll a big old doink. I was going to get all high with him. It was going to be fun, but alas, we did not. I hit him up pretty early. He hit me up about 2.5 hours later, and then I hit him up again, like texted him back, and he never messaged me. So I was like, all right. Well, I know how this is going to go. It's not his fault. And I think some people get confused and kind of like there's an opposition almost anticipated nowadays. Because some people get very, and I think part of the issue is social media, but people get very, oh, they're not hanging out with me. They're not my best friend. Fuck them. We're not on the exact same trajectory and wavelength. Fuck them. I think part of that is, though, seeing stuff. Excuse me. Happen simultaneously. So before it used to be that you would take your time away from a friend. You'd have a different trajectory, different things going on. You take your time away from a friend. You'd go do other things. And you'd start to grow on your own individually, start to find your own things in life. And every now and then you'd think, I wonder how they are. I wonder how they're doing. It's beautiful. It's like writing letters back in the day. You used to write letters to people you'd love. I love you so much. I just think of your dripping cheeks as I caress them with my lacy frilly shirt. And I take off your bonnet and unlace that. And then all 97 knots on your corset I also unlace to finally show your secondary bra, which I will now also take off. Just cute little letters like that. It was kind of like that, where it would like take a long time, so you'd just be going on and on and on, just saying shit that was like, people are like, Jesus, bro, you're a horny bastard. But it's like, bro, you only got like one thing a month to say. If this one didn't get lost in the mail, you're gonna make it count. In the same way, you would have those thoughts, and you think, man, I hope they're doing alright. It'd be awesome to see them again. And then you just move on. You kind of move on because you have your own things going on. You're stressed. It's hard to maintain a relationship. You can only have so many relationships. So what you do is you maintain some, and you maintain good thoughts about the others. You hope for the best for others, and you hope that things are going well until some life-shattering thing happens, and then you get scared, and you have to go talk to those people. You feel like you want to bring those people around more. Things like that. It's okay to not talk to people. Even if he was watching this, which I doubt, but like, even if it was anybody if anyone watching this that's ever my friend or anything that ever has that going on, I don't care. And I think if you're a smart person, you don't care either. I think if you're a person that just wants the best for the world, you don't care either. Because people sometimes are going to have to leave your presence in order to be better. I'm sorry. Whether you're a mother, a father, or anything. Some people are going to have to make an exodus from your life in order to be better. And that's not your fault either. That's nothing to do with you. They just need other circumstances. They can't be attached to one person for the rest of their life. So when those things happen, I celebrate. A goodbye is a beginning for somebody else's story. Sure, they've outrun their possibilities with you, but now you can even find your own possibilities with another person. You can only have so many people that are your friends. You can only have so many people that you genuinely love in your life. It's very hard to have enough energy to love more than a few people and work 40 hours a week. It's very fucking hard. But yeah, I think some people, just because they can see people doing well simultaneously alongside of them, they feel like they're in this competition with it, They feel as if they're not doing enough or they're not doing well enough. And I mean, and people on social media inflate those things too. So it looks like people are doing even better than they are alongside you. I hope the best for everyone, sincerely. A lot of friendships I've had were like based off gifts. I've gifted a lot of friends things. Especially recently, I've been trying to go out of my way to do it. It's just a thing that it's interesting because it means different to different people. Some people it means everything. Some people it means nothing. One of the things we used to do when I was younger that was my favorite was we would play with these wooden guns. So what we would do is, it was me and my buddy, and he and I would go over to his grandparents' house. We all lived in the same spot, and so we'd go over to his grandparents' house, and his grandpa had a bunch of old spare wooden parts. We couldn't use a saw, but we could use the nails and the screws and the wood and stuff. So like, we would just make all kinds of shit. At one point, his grandpa made like a grenade thing that had like a little spring, so it had a trigger on it, and it had a little grenade that you threw with it and pulled the pin. It was fucking badass. And so we would make all these different types of guns. I had a few still at my mom's house. It's like one of those novelty bats sawed in half on either side of a wood piece, so it's like a ray gun looking thing. Like, we got quite a few different things that were like pretty cool, actually. That were pretty fucking cool. And it was a lot of fun, especially when you're like 4th grade, to be like, I'm going to build a gun. And you go in there and like build all kinds of shit, and you're like, this is my gun now. I remember begging my dad to do some shit that was hella work, and he finally did it, and nothing happened with it. And he was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dummy? Like, it was the first time my dad was disappointed. It was so funny. He was like, what the fuck, you're a piece of shit. He's like, dummy, that's going to be so much fucking work, dude. Don't make me do it. And I'm like, come on, please, Dad, please. And he's like, all right, fine. And then he's like, God damn it, dummy. God damn it, dummy. He's so mad. Oh, God. And he would never say that stuff to me, but I know that's what he was doing because, like, that was the energy that he had with me. And so we'd make all these wooden guns. We had guns with, like, butts on, like, not human asses. That'd be a next step up, just so we're clear that in the rankings, if a gun had a human ass on it, it would be above all the other guns I ever made. However, we had some that had like stocks on them and shit, some that had long looking barrels. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And so his grandparents were fucking older. They had lived in the community for quite a while, and they knew a lot of people around the town. And so one day, people had come over. They'd come on over. And it's just this little fucking kid or whatever. And they're like, hey, entertain this guy. We're talking to his fucking dad. So it's me and my buddy. Now, my buddy, this man's insane. I don't know if I told this story. I don't know if I should, truly. But we'll wait till I finish this. But the kid's insane. Okay? He's fucking wild. And this other kid comes downstairs and he's like, whoa, what are these? We're like, these are guns. We made them. We're badasses. We're like 4 years older than him anyway. So like, to him, we are God. So like I'm like, look at this, and we got all our guns we made. I'm like posing with them and shit, and he's like, holy shit, can I hold one? And I'm like, for sure, dude, hold it. And so he's holding it. He's like, damn. He's like, wow, like turning it back and forth. He's all excited, and so like I'm looking at my buddy, and he's looking at me, and so like we're like, do you want one, man? Because to us, these are old guns. I've had these for years now. Some of them are old as shit. And he's like, I get a gun. Like this kid, and like when you're a child, like you can see, and he's by himself. There's no reason we had to be that cool to him for him being like 4 years younger. We should have been like, you're gay, and then like pushing him down the stairs. But I had people do that to me. So as we've talked about in past videos. So we decided to be really nice to him and just kind of give him something fun. And he enjoyed the fuck out of it. He was having so much fun. He was like running around. We were like playing, like shoot the shit, like throwing grenades at stuff. We were teaching him like how to do all this stuff in the backyard. And basically in the way it worked, we had 3 backyards that were connected through like a fence. So we would like jump over the fences. We'd like go through backyard like guerrilla warfare shit. It was the fucking shit. It was so fun. Hide and go seek tag was the best. Everything was amazing. It was just like all the childhood games were made so much better when you have 3 different yards with all different foliage and shit in the back to go through. Oh, God. And so eventually it's time, obviously, for him to go home. And so he goes up to his dad and he's like, Dad, I got a gun. And he's like, oh, my God, oh, that's awesome. But you need to, like, give it back to him. And we're like, no, he can have one. And he's like, what? He can have it? I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. And he was overjoyed. The dad was just as happy as the kid was. It was weird, but it was good. Good on him. So they go home. That kid had turned out to be my teacher's son. And my teacher came in to class and was like, Dummy, come here. Did you meet my son? And I was like, oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I did. And like I was kind of worried because this teacher has hated me and us, the whole class. We were supposed to be, I was in advanced classes or whatever they fucking call them, you know, advanced classes in a fucking school that most people are considering ghetto and had like a stabbing in the 70s, so then they've never outlived that reputation. So advanced in those schools, whatever that may be, where its heyday was when there were stabbings, okay? So I'm in the advanced classes. And she's like, you know, guys, so this is like a few weeks before Christmas or some shit, I think. She's like, you know, guys, I got a gift for you. And we're like, oh, yeah. Sorry, her voice isn't as scratchy as mine. But she's like, I got a gift for you. And I'm like, okay. And she's telling everyone, are you guys excited? We're like, sure, whatever. So we're waiting for whatever gift to fucking come. There's some sort of gift. And like, all of a sudden, you have time. I think we had like a week or two. So like we're running our heads. We're like, what do you think it is? People are like recess. Like, what do you think? Hey, what do you think the fucking gift is, bro? Miss, what you think Shorty got? Huh? She got some good shit? You think she's got something wild? We talking lollipops? We talking Laffy Taffies? Are we talking saltwater hand stretch Laffy Taffies? Because I'll shit my little pants. Okay? I was excited to see what it was. And everyone had different ideas. Everyone wasn't sure. Maybe something dumb, maybe something awesome. Like, I mean, we're not all getting Game Boys. That'd been dope, but that's just not what it is. But we were excited nonetheless. So eventually the day comes, and she goes, I'm going out of class. I'm going to grab your gifts. Come on in. Or like, and I'll bring them in. And we're like, okay. So we're all sitting in class. And she hauls in this cart of like paperback journals. Paperback fucking journals. And one guy's like, like audibly like, come on. You got fucking 2 weeks of excitement for this shit? Huh? For fucking journals? You want me to... You are giving us a responsibility right now? You got us hyped up for 2 weeks for a responsibility? So as soon as the kid... she starts sniffling. I go, you're goddamn fucking me right now. This lady starts crying. Crying. For what? You got us hyped up 2 weeks ago like it was our surprise birthday, and you'll bring me a responsibility on my new surprise birthday, and you get mad at me for not being excited? Imagine any gift that you get someone and you're upset because they're not overjoyed. Wait, you want me to jump on top of the desk and take my dick out and whip my hair back and forth like it's a hairband concert as my cock and hair simultaneously whip my belly, slap back, and go forward underneath and touch my ass? Is that what you're wanting? As I simultaneously flip my hair and my cock on my desk from the joy of having a journal? What are we doing here? And I remember every year after that, I felt like shit. I felt like garbage. I was like, you're a shit person, dummy. You're a shit fucking kid, dummy. I don't know if I did the but it felt like I did the way she cried. The way she got upset. It felt like I did the And I thought about it for a long time. And I'm going to let you know something. The older I get, the more wrong she was. What the fuck are you We're fucking like 14 at most. And you're gifting us a journal? Like, yeah, bitch, we're all getting mean now. We're starting to talk about pussy, bro. 69's not even funny anymore. We have to, joke about sticking each other's balls in our mouth or else it's not fucking funny enough. You understand? Okay? We're becoming animals. We're calling women with muscles lesbians from afar because we don't understand what's happening. Alright? Some people aren't even meaning to be mean. We just genuinely think lesbians are just buff women. We don't know. Alright? Don't fucking gift 14-year-olds anything. They'll hate it all. They don't have any joy in this whole world besides beating their cock and fucking doing bad things. Those are the only two things you enjoy when you're 13 to 16. That's it. That's all you get. Is you beat your dick like it owes you money and then you look for ways to get arrested. That's all. It's just, that's what you want to do. It's no one's fault. Don't get them gifts. Gifts were a year ago. You could have got us a gift a year ago. Yay. We get to write down our feelings. Now I want to fuck the journal. You understand? Can I cock the journal? Can I stick my dick in the journal? Then we don't want it. You understand? So anyways, this lady got upset at us about that, and she held some sort of grudge ever since. For whatever reason. And then I gave her child a wooden gun, and she was so nice to me for the rest of the fucking year. There was 3 months, but whatever. She was so fucking nice to me. She fucking loved me. Fucking loved me, dude. Telling everyone that I gave her son a wooden gun, whatever that means. I was afraid to get tried in some court case coming up, you know what I'm saying? But Jesus. And that's the thing about gifts. Is that sometimes they can fuck up a relationship. Or sometimes when you're not a fucking loser and a dweeb, your gifts are so fucking rad, they fucking ramp up relationships like a puddle or a ripple. You understand? Like a fucking ripple effect, alright? I am the butterfly effect of gift giving. You understand? I'm a fucking genius. That lady loved me for fucking 3 months after that. It was baller. And I was like, damn, I can't believe, because some people just hated me. I had her sister as a teacher when I was in kindergarten, and she sent me to the office on the third day of kindergarten. Sent me to the office, sent me to the principal. Was like, I don't know what to do with him. He talks too much. You know? So I think it was a family vendetta, if I'm sincere. Because how would I talk too much? How? There were also there's some other pretty good toys and gifts from when I was younger. I have a cousin who struggles with some stuff, and she basically had gotten me some stuff for Christmas. She had gotten me, yes, 2 G.I. Joe action figures. One was Snake Eyes, one was Shadow Storm, and they both had their own motorcycle. One was black and one was white with a dragon on the side, and then they both also had their own fucking swords, bro. So Snake Eyes had a visor that would pull over his eyes. When you pulled it up, his eyes are all bloodshot and fucked up, bro, and his eyes are like, oh my god, it was the coolest shit ever, dude. And so like I had the motorcycles for both of them, and I would just make them fight basically, and I'd be like, brother, time for you to die, you know, and they'd do whatever bullshit. They'd be like, brother, you fucked my wife and now it's time to die. It'd always be something, and I'm not sure what was going on there. I think, how old was I? Well, this was in between churches usually, so I was at least 5, probably like 8 to 13. I was playing with action figures a lot. And it would always be the same thing. Oh, I had a G.I. Joe too. That was the other one. I had a G.I. Joe that had like robotic boots or whatever on, and so I'd always make it that his legs had gotten chopped off. His wife had left him for this evil guy, and then he would have to go beat that evil guy's ass and take his wife back. And I'm sure there's some psychosomatic that are, I don't know if that's necessarily it, but some deeper psychological things there that are making me feel these things. My parents got divorced when I was young, all that stuff. Fun things that made me into the fun person I am today. But I would always have like some guy be like, my legs were chopped off in a terrible boating accident because I am just a hard blue collar worker, I think. I'm not 100% sure of what the collars mean or really what the colors even indicate, but I'm one of them, and I got my legs chopped off and you're fucking my wife, and now I'm gonna beat your ass, and secretly you're my brother. Which is kind of weird for her, but not for me. It's a little more just, it doesn't matter at this point because I'm 45. But she will always know she fucked my brother. But I am taking her back. You know, there's always something fun like that. Just some good, light, 10-year-old fun. Sometimes I'd also play in the Barbie house, mostly because my stories, as you're kind of putting together, really aren't necessarily, you don't have to fight in them a lot. Well, there's a lot of arguing, but there's not a lot of fighting. So a lot of them could have taken place in the Barbie dream house that had the crank elevator on the side that you could take your people out of. A lot of it could have taken place there if it wanted to, not that it did. But probably about 75% of it could have taken place there. My buddies and I would do that all the time. We'd have like all kinds of shit. We'd have the house. We'd have like a city with cars we could drive in, and then we'd take our guys everywhere. We'd be in everything. We'd be the coolest people ever. It was like Grand Theft Auto but for toys, and it was a lot of fun when I was younger. It was really a lot of fun, especially whenever you like. And I think the reason that you lose that is because you lose that like mysticism. You lose that like making your own things and putting your own things together. It really had a lot of meaning whenever it's your own thing. It's just a lot of fun. It was fun sometimes. There was other times that I would be stuck at daycare for like 3+. I mean, not 3+ hours by myself, but like a long time after like I probably should have been there, and it was just like me and one other kid. It was But that would be the time that would really come in handy. Of course, it's hard to explain to the other kid because he's like, all right, I'm the bad guy. And it's like, all right, cool. I hate you because you're fucking my wife and you've taken my legs. And he's like, I don't want to play anymore. You don't make a lot of friends that way. I also may have gotten one too many feels on the anatomy skeleton thing. You peel back their things, you got livers, guts, and all that stuff. And then if you put it all together right, you got a titty. And I might have spent a little too much time with that. So that was no longer allowed because of these fucking commies taking my fucking toys. I'm learning. Alright? Miss Sue, I'm learning. Give me back the titty. Okay? They just fucking have the titty in their hands, holding it the other way so I can't see it. I'm just looking at the back end of titty. It's still, I don't even know what makes me aroused, so I'm still with it. Give me back that titty. I'm gonna stare at it from behind. I don't give a shit. You think I can't get off to some inverse titty? Huh? Another fun thing that we would do when we were younger would be BB gun fights. We'd have a lot of fun. We would take our guns and we would go down to the ravine. And so we'd go there, and we had a few kids that we'd play with, and we were probably 15, 16, right? We were a little older, and we were just having fun. Knew what we were doing, so, like, we would wear, like, safety glasses. We would wear, like, tight hoodies over the side of us, so, like, if we got shot, you could feel it, but it wouldn't, like, take off your shit. And, like, it was cold as fuck. There was usually snow on the ground. So we would go all over. I had a little pistol that I'd cock a bunch, and like it wasn't very accurate, but I'd get real close up, do the Indian sneak on people. I'd be running up real quiet and shit, bah, 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 you know. And so that was a lot of fun. By the way, that's not racist. The Indian sneak is what my dad's hunting friends would call what my grandpa would do when he would hunt without a blind or a stand, and he would just kind of crawl on his belly throughout the woods. Now, I was using the Indian sneak technology that my grandfather had first probably stolen, just like many good things. He's also, though, like a quarter Native American, so I think it's more of just he's like, you know, just whatever is in his blood. So, I would run up and like shoot people or whatever, and I remember one time we're going through and I'm sneaking on like the creek, because there's a little creek but there's ice on it, and the ice on the sides is like pretty good, so I'm sneaking along the ice on the side, and my buddy, I had no chance, just puts an automatic over and starts firing, hits me right in the ass like 4 times, and then so I immediately, as a reaction, hump the water and fall directly into the ice with my cock submerged. And that was the worst part. But once you get over cold cock, real condition, you're all right. But those first few minutes where you think you're going into cold cock shock, you don't want cold cock shock. Now, whenever we do this, though, you would meet a lot of interesting people. You'd meet friends of friends. And like I said, I usually went with pretty safe people. I didn't like people pointing guns at people, especially, like, I learned a lot about hunting. I hunted since I was very young. I'd shoot a lot when I was young. I learned very early not to point guns at people. They can hurt people. They fuck people up. So, like, we would try to go with people that were a little safe. Wouldn't point guns at people. Wouldn't fuck people up like that. Shit like that. But you would see people that were adjacent to the people who were, like, because these people didn't give a fuck if they were with people who were shooting each other in the fucking eyeball, you know? And so you'd go there and they'd be like, hey man, remember last year when we were out in the woods? Basically one of my fucking buddies went out to the woods, was fucking airsofting with people or whatever, with no idea, because they're young, they were like probably 13, the fucking governor was at the building over from the woods, and they're sneaking through the woods fucking 10 deep with like fake assault rifles and shit. Fucking police pulled up on him with a fucking spot, like, drop your shit, and he's like, ah, they're like, it's fake, because they still have like voice cracks and shit. Or there was one kid one time, this is a good one, there was one kid one time, he goes, remember those guys we played with last week? I wasn't here, so I do not. Please, explain to me the kids from last week. Okay. So he shows us, you know what, I got it. He shows us a video. It's a video of a guy holding a cell phone with a gun stretched out underneath the cell phone to the back of this fucking shirtless dude with a fucking like bandana around his mouth. I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's this dude, he's got his fucking shit tied up behind him with his shirt off. His shirt's used to tie his fucking hands, and he's fucking pushing him. He's pushing him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? A fucking ISIS execution video? What the fuck is this? So they push him on his fucking knees next to his buddy. They put the fucking shit over their eyes so they can't fucking see him move. What's happening? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? They just start shooting them. They start having to fucking run. They're taking videos of them just shooting these guys in the fucking back because they have to run with their fucking hands tied and shit. It's the most insane shit. I was like, yeah, we don't play with those guys. Whatever the fuck that was, no, I don't. Because you're like 15, you're like, that can't be allowed. I can't. No, I can't. My mom says I'd get arrested for a lot of things. I've never mentioned this specific one, but this doesn't seem allowed. This seems like it might. I don't know many laws. I bet this breaks one or two of them. Just, I don't know what that is. It's like being in the country. You always meet one kid who kills animals. If you live out there long enough, there's always one kid who kills animals. I was also thinking too about like other fun gifts, you know, or like people who give them, like Santa. Santa, an iconic man who's just here to give gifts. That's all. That's what he does. He gives gifts and people love him. I loved Santa from the time I was young. In fact, I believed in Santa until I was 11 years old. There was a girl, I think she was 12. It was her last year of being at the daycare, because 6th grade was the last year. So she was 12 years old, and she was telling me how Santa Claus isn't real. I explained to her how she is dumb and a bitch, and that's not her fault. Just the same way that I am a Christian and I am correct about God, you are dumb and a bitch and you are wrong about Santa. Not your fault. I'd seen the stories, I'd seen the things, and I'm sitting there, she's talking all this shit. I'm like, this dumb bitch isn't getting shit for Christmas. This coley ass bitch. Wait till Rudolph hear about this shit. He gonna laugh his red ass nose off, bro. Listen to this bitch talk about who ain't real. So she's talking all this shit about Santa Claus. I'm like, you're stupid and dumb. You're wrong. No one would lie to me. And like, everyone's lying to you. I'm like, no one would lie to me. So I go home. I can't remember what happened. I was in the bathroom at one point, I think. That might have just been after I'd found out and I started crying. But I asked my mother about if Santa was real. And she had told me no. So I started freaking out. I go upstairs. I feel stupid. I feel upset. I'm just very like upset emotionally. So I'm like, why did nobody tell me this? No one else believes in Santa, but I believed in Santa for a really long time. And all these other little kids believed in Santa. So why didn't I pick this up if everyone else had picked this up, you know? And so I'm sitting there laying in my bed, looking up at the ceiling. And I'm just like, is it worth it? Life really worth it? You know, should I stay here anymore? And my mom comes in, she goes, Dummy, are you okay? And I look at her and I go, what about the tooth fairy? Huh? Easter bunny? Huh? And she's like, oh no, Dummy. And I look at her and I go, you lied. You're all liars. I told her to shut the door. She got very upset. But also, I was 11. Somebody should have fucking told me. If I'm that trusting, we're now just being crazy. Like, why did no one tell an 11-year-old Santa wasn't real? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? You think that's not gonna fuck? You think I'm not gonna have people fucking with me for that? Huh? You think I'm not gonna live until after high school? I have 7 years left to cope with Santa not being real. Everyone else got like 10. Alright? They found out when they were like, I had buddies who told me when they were 3, they decided Santa couldn't be real. I was 11 and I was advocating for Santa's realism. I would sit there at one point, I got so upset. I was like, Santa's a bitch. Ha ha ha. I made a joke. I think I was in 4th grade. I think it was a year before that. I'd make some jokes. I'd said some things. I thought I was pretty hot. It was a little bit around October, and I thought, you know what? I'm funny. And I said some jokes at the expense of the old white bearded man, the old red coat. I said some jokes. And all of a sudden one night, got real cold. You start hearing some are those bells? Are they coming for me? Is that the man? So I look up to God, and I start doing the math. All right, Santa around the world one day, humanoid. Okay, Rudolph, big red nose, fucking A. Can see through fog. Not necessarily a superpower, but pretty impressive. Probably God adjacent, right? So I look up to God and I say, God, I know Santa is adjacent to you, and I can only imagine maybe Rudolph is some sort of Holy Spirit to him. Please let Santa know that I am sorry, because I had committed sacrilege. I had done bad. Sin is everywhere in me. I had made fun of Santa, God adjacent Santa. So I prayed for his forgiveness, and also that Rudolph wouldn't be mad. I was very upset. I was hoping Rudolph wasn't mad. Now, it is important to note, when I was younger, my parents did a thing with carrots and candy corn out in there. They made it look like Santa had come a lot of times. Things like that. But now, I was advocating for Santa while a 12-year-old tells me I'm stupid in front of a bunch of other people. And she's dead, so dumb bitch. And no, I'm just kidding. It is very sad, though. It is a weird thing. She had a very odd death. One sec, we'll finish this. Oh yes. I always wondered too, like, as far as Santa Clauses go, like, mall Santas have to be just some sort of exposure therapy for, like, pedophiles, right? Where they're just like, listen, we're just gonna flood you with a bunch of kids, and that way you just you get over it quick. And they're like, okay, like, who else wants to be in a fucking? I grow my beard out all year to go to a mall and get paid nothing. Just insane. Hold snot-nosed shit kids that literally kids that have shit themselves. That's what I'm doing here. Sometimes they'll be like, yeah, he shit himself. Just let's just get the photo out though. You know, let's just get the photo going. Yeah, he's got shit on himself, but it's okay. We'll just keep going. It's okay. Don't worry. That's just shit. All right? But there's also, I did get a unique look, though, because you think, what happens to those people? Where do they go? What do they do? What's important about them? What's their life like? Besides December, what's their life like? And so one time, I think it was about January or so, we were having Christmas at my aunt's house. So it was Christmas at my aunt's house. I remember I had chewed tobacco outside and no one gave a shit. It was dope. I felt awesome. I was like, well, I just discovered you could do tobacco anywhere without anyone getting mad at you whenever you're of age. So I remember we went here, and all of a sudden some guy in this old beater ass car pulls up. I'm like, what the fuck? And so he's old as shit, and like he's got gray hair. So he gets out. Oh shit! All of a sudden, Santa hat on. Okay, cool. So he puts on Santa hat. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, puts out a cigarette, comes on inside, and like barely says anything. Whatever, dude. And he's up there, and so we start like talking to him, hanging out. I have to go sit on his lap. I get a picture of me and all my other families like sitting on his lap and shit. My dad's like, hey, why does he smell like booze? Who is this guy? You know, asking dumbass questions. I'm like, it's Santa, you fucking idiot. And so me and Santa are hanging out, having a good time, and eventually Santa goes to leave. And so Santa, I'm sure, got paid like $50 to $100 or some shit. And as he's leaving, I'm taking a video of me taking of Santa going out to his Buick LeSabre, and I'm taking a little video of him, and he looks at me, and Santa, in the most magical way, he goes, I'm like, aw, Santa, you didn't have to flip me off. So nice of you, buddy. And so that Santa flipped me off that year. They just, sometimes they just end up in some rough spots. You think, where do these guys end up? That's where. I had something I was going on about a tangent, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Santa. Oh well. I decided to. I was thinking about what are some of the best gifts, and I think truly the best gift you can ever give is food. I've thought about it long and hard, but I think it truly is the best gift you could ever give. Food is the only thing that is readily available everywhere, but still stuck behind this wall of knowledge. This wall of know-how, of how to cook, what to put with what to make it delicious, the chemical reactions between two things to make something like a flavor come out. I think a good food is the best thing you can give somebody, especially a wonderful dessert. Something healthy. A lot of times is something that really gets me. I really like healthy stuff, so something that's healthy that you're giving me feels like you're giving me something extra, something to tie me over for the week. But I think like it's the best thing also because it's a necessity. There's the old biblical story of Jacob and Esau where like the brother comes in from the field so hungry that he sells his fucking birthright and everything he's supposed to get when his father dies to his brother for a bowl of soup. But it still rings true that it is a primal need to have food. And you find somebody in that need and you give them that thing. It gives you a very unique opportunity psychologically to provide somebody that you know very little with a need. It's also something that you can do to get people to trust you. If people like your food, they're going to want to keep you around. As odd as that is, it's just sincere. People really appreciate the role that is filled by somebody who makes food. Oftentimes we see like mothers or like people have like almost a parental like figure because of how good their food is. It's also memorable. It's interesting that there's a lot of things that go on and you can think, oh, I'd love this, and you can almost feel certain things, but nothing is quite like a food. Food literally has cravings like drugs do. If you've ever smoked a cigarette, you know what I'm talking about, but that feeling, it's like the opposite of sugar. It's a craving, it makes you do that with your mouth. You want to suck something in real bad. And you're trying to taste something that's not there. It's like a craving for cigarettes. In the same way, food is also like you'll be like, God, I could go for something. And you can almost taste it. You can almost feel it in your mouth. It's just so odd. But that strong of an emotion invokes the response that you're trying to get of friendship with somebody, you know? It is also interesting in this world because there's some people like things that aren't good for them, like food-wise and stuff. And foods are just terrible. Like, some foods nowadays are absolutely fucking garbage. What is in Doritos and Cheetos are probably the same. But what is it, for the love of fuck? What is it? You probably put it whatever shape you want. Fuck triangles. They made them little balls, you know what I'm saying? They made them little long-ass amorphous and fucking, they look like logs, you know? What the fuck is all that? They can do anything with it. It's just like, what is it though? Why don't we just have something healthy? Hey, what if we just invested more into like apple chips? What if we had chips made of apples instead of fried fucking potatoes? Maybe we'd be a little better off, you know? I don't know. Or like dyes. Every fucking kid's favorite color is red. Red 40 is like supposedly causes ADHD and hyperactivity in fucking kids. What are we doing? Ban fucking red 40. Ban the fucking yellow dyes. They're all fucking bad for us. What are we doing? But that's what people love to eat. People love to eat that shit. I remember being young and I remember having ketchup that would have green dye in it, that would have so much green dye that my shit would be green the next day. And my mom would be like, I can't let you eat that. It's just not good for your body to process all that, you know? It's terrible. Terrible. It was the Shrek ketchup. It was the Shrek ketchup. I loved ketchup so much when I was younger. And I still do. It's fucked up. Sincerely. It's fucked up. I made 20 chicken nuggets the other day and I didn't eat a single one because we ran out of ketchup. I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Alright, it's like a giant toddler. There's also just things that are just like sugar bombs, that are just giant congestions of sugar that you just drop into your body 50 at a time and hope that your heart doesn't stop. It's insane. It's insane our livers don't fail from this shit. Also, another thing that people don't like think about too, like, but diet stuff. So like aspartame and things. So like, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe the way it works is that like aspartame, the same amount of aspartame and the same amount of sugar in your hand, you'll have more aspartame, and I think it's a smaller molecule, so your body like gets a lot more of it. And it's one of those things that like it's linked to obesity and cancer. It's just not good for you. Diet stuff is not good. I think it overworks you, whatever it does. But I have nothing to support that, and I'm a dummy. I know we've kind of blown through the topics today, and I'm trying to have a lot to talk about, but I don't know if I have any more dummies. I really enjoyed our time together. I hope it's not too short, and I hope that you guys have fun with this episode. I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to be able to do it, but it seems as I go on and do more and more that I really do feel truly happy and able to excel in this. I feel like I can do better and better and better each week. So, thank you for being here, dummies. I love you all. Have a wonderful week.